Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump has blamed Iran for an attack on a commercial vessel near Oman, calling it a violation of the recently agreed ceasefire. The comments came after Tehran reiterated its position that it controls navigation arrangements in the Strait of Hormuz and warned Gulf countries against siding with Washington. The incident has raised fresh concerns over the stability of the preliminary US-Iran agreement and security in one of the world's busiest shipping routes. US President Donald Trump has threatened to impose a 100% tariff on imports from any country that introduces a digital services tax targeting American companies. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said the proposed tariff would override existing trade agreements and would take effect immediately if such taxes are implemented. The warning comes as several European countries consider digital taxes on major US technology firms, adding fresh tension to transatlantic trade relations. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has announced a framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon following several days of US-mediated talks in Washington. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Rubio said the agreement establishes a framework for lasting peace and security between the two countries. The negotiations were aimed at ending hostilities between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah group, with the United States serving as mediator. Iranian state media says Tehran and Washington have established a direct communication line over the Strait of Hormuz to help prevent incidents that could escalate into military confrontation. According to the report, the mechanism is part of the implementation of Article 5 of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding and is intended to improve coordination as both sides continue discussions over navigation arrangements in the strategic waterway. The development comes amid ongoing efforts to reduce regional tensions and safeguard commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. The nuclear watchdog's top official has said that the interim US-Iran peace accord gives UN nuclear inspectors access to Iran after Tehran indicated key sites would remain off-limits until a final deal with Washington was reached and sanctions lifted. International Atomic Energy Agency boss Rafael Grossi told a press conference in Japan that to comply with the agreement, the IAEA will have to have access and inspect. He said UN inspectors have already held an initial exchange with Iranian officials to discuss technical issues. He added that the first goal of any visit to Iran would be to check whether IAEA seals on previously inspected material remained intact and whether any material was missing.
Iran has made it clear that it has no plans to allow UN nuclear watchdog Chief Rafael Grossi to inspect nuclear facilities damaged during the war. Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi said that any decision on inspections will only be discussed in a final agreement and after sanctions are lifted.
Tehran has reasserted its right to control shipping in the Strait of Hormuz and warned Gulf states against siding with the US. Iran was responding to what it called an interventionist, irresponsible and provocative joint statement by the United States and 6 Gulf states that rejected Iran's insistence that it could charge tolls on vessels transiting the strait. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi said on X that safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz cannot be guaranteed under ambiguous arrangements, parallel routes, or decision-making that does not take Iran's role as a coastal state into account. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Centre said it had received a report of an incident north of Oman near the Strait of Hormuz. According to British broadcasting reports, a cargo vessel was struck on its starboard side by an unidentified projectile, causing damage to the ship's bridge. The vessel's master said no injuries were reported in the incident. The organisation said authorities were investigating the matter and advised vessels in the area to exercise caution and report any suspicious activity. The United Nations Maritime Agency has temporarily suspended its evacuation initiative for ships stranded near the Strait of Hormuz after a vessel was attacked in the Gulf of Oman. The International Maritime Organization, or IMO, said the decision was taken to reassess security conditions and ensure that adequate safety guarantees remain in place for vessels operating in the region. The evacuation effort was designed to help hundreds of ships and thousands of seafarers navigate safely through the strategically important waterway amid ongoing regional tensions. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates briefly issued emergency phone alerts on Friday, warning residents of a potential missile threat before sending a follow-up message declaring the situation safe. The Interior Ministry later advised residents to disregard the earlier warning, although some users reportedly received an additional alert before the all-clear notification. No missile strike or security incident was immediately confirmed, and normal activities have since resumed across the UAE. Foreign rescue teams and humanitarian aid are arriving in Venezuela following twin earthquakes that devastated areas in and around the capital, Caracas. Authorities say the death toll has risen to 589, with nearly 3,000 people injured and hundreds still believed to be trapped or missing beneath the rubble. Search and rescue operations are continuing as emergency crews race to locate survivors. The temperature in Britain and Switzerland have hit record highs for June, as large parts of Western Europe were in the grip of a deadly early summer heatwave that has killed dozens, disrupted power supplies, and shut schools and cultural landmarks. French and British authorities warned people to adapt their daily routines to avoid overheating as hospitals struggled to deal with patients suffering from the heatwave. Temperatures reached 36.7 degrees Celsius in southwest England, provisionally making it the hottest June day recorded in Britain, surpassing a record set just a day earlier, the Met Office said. Australia's Prime Minister has said that he was keen to make sure the country's social media ban for children was as strong as possible, as a new study found that the 6-month-old measure had little impact on teen use. The government plans to stress test the law, which bans platforms like Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube from giving under-16s accounts. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that he wants the law to withstand any legal challenges which are made. A small aircraft has reportedly crashed into Beijing's tallest building, the CITIC Tower. According to eyewitnesses, the impact damaged glass panels on one of the upper floors of the 108-story skyscraper, while police sealed off surrounding roads and restricted public access to the area. Chinese authorities have not yet issued an official statement on the incident, and there are no immediate reports of casualties. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.sammaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.